Red Files.
You know what I mean? This is the Red Files podcast. My boy Marley Mall. And it's your boy Lord Voodoo. You know what I mean? We're gonna get straight to it because it's late. The motherfucking Boston Celtics won the NBA Finals, bro. Go ahead and talk about it, man. Tell me what you're thinking.
Motherfucking Boston Celtics won the NBA the NBA championship. Well deserved, man. I honestly feel like this was probably one of the easiest runs that I've seen a team go through to get to the finals. I believe
Hmm.
they lost a total of 3 games.
That's crazy.
If I'm not mistaken, they lost a total of 3 games to get to this point. If not, maybe just two. Hell of a run. I think this was just a point to where talent outbeat, uh, coaching. Because I felt like, yeah, Joe Mazzulla did a great job, but Boston had talent from the 1 to the 5 position. They dealt with injuries with Kristaps Porzingis, and they still were dominant. Um, both of their stars shot over 40%, which isn't the best, but over 40%, and they won they won 4 out of 5 games. So if you're looking at Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown shooting, one shooting 40%, one shooting 44%, you almost wondering like what's going on, but they are getting buckets from Derek White and Drew
That was,
Holiday balling.
bro. His forehead pissed me off the whole series, bro.
It was
He pissed me off.
crazy. But you know what why I give them the most credit is because you had Jason Tatum playing the 4 and the 5, and Jalen Brown was really trying to play a play a heavy set of guarding Luka Doncic,
Right.
and bro, 3 out of those 5 games they had Kyrie Irving on clamps,
Yeah,
and
they made a mission on getting him. They said, "Go ahead, Luca, do your thing, because it ain't gonna be a win without Kyrie."
with all due respect, Kyrie's the most skilled player in the league. Like when it comes to just like getting to his spots and whatnot, but Drew Holiday and Derek White,
Man, they did a
they
number on him,
they
bro.
they did a masterful job. In Dallas,
Yeah,
he was a different man. I think they got the team involved a lot more, and he was able to get to his spots. Um, but man, those games in Boston was tough on Kyrie, man. And I think
yeah,
that
bro.
when you have a Kyrie Irving that don't score over 20 points, you're
You ain't
bound to
winning.
lose that game. Yeah, you
You're
ain't
not
winning
winning.
that game. So with much credit to Jason Kidd and what he did to get Dallas to the championship, and not only that, the teams that Dallas had to play to get to the championship, like he
I
beat.
mean, yeah. Speak on the teams, because there's this thing, and I don't know if you share the same sentiment, but there's this thing, and I don't believe in it. That the East is weak. There's this always argument that the East is weak. How do the East always end up winning though? You know what I mean? Like they always, the fatigue. Well, if that's the case, then send one of them teams that's in the West to the East. Change the NBA then, because this East and the West thing is I don't like where it's turned into, because like revisionist history, people like to like say like 20 years later, yeah, LeBron was just playing in a weak East, and like my thing is like, all right, if they're weak, then they're not going against good competition, and how come the competition how come their comp is better than your comp? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
I
hundred
swear,
percent.
you know where I'm going. Like, this
I
shit
get
crazy.
what you're saying, and I think when you're looking at why people say the Eastern Conference is weak is because when you're looking at the win loss total when it comes to these conferences, a team in the West could miss the playoffs and be above 500 by 10,
Right,
15 games, and a team in
right,
the East could make the playoffs and be right at 500. You know what I'm saying? So when it
right.
comes to like overall record, teams in the East normally are weaker. And there's normally about 3 or 4 teams in the East that's really just like consistently in the playoffs. They're gonna be that top 2 to 4, 1 to 5 seed. That's just what it has been. If not that top 2 to 5 seed, or 1 to 5 seed, they are making the playoffs. Period. You're talking about like the Celtics. You're talking about the Bucks. You're talking about like the Sixers who are normally there. You're talking about like the Heat who normally make the playoffs. These teams are always in the playoffs.
Right,
Everybody else is like a scratch and claw thing. Now you're gonna see more of the Pacers because they're building a little bit. The
right.
Raptors were one of those teams, but the Raptors are no more. So the Knicks, we'll see what the Knicks start doing. But in the West, it's like everybody is competing to be in the playoffs, and it's like
It's like
you gotta
you got.
win like 50, 60 games to solidify an opportunity in the playoffs in the West. That's why they say that. But yeah, man, the East has been. I think this playoff run, when you look at what the Mavs have done, like you got to give them credit. Like they beat the Clippers, a tough, tough team. They beat the Clippers, and the Clippers only won 2 games, and then they went around and beat the Thunder, the number 1 seed, young team, arguably the MVP on their team, and Shea. They beat the Thunder, and the Thunder only won 2 games. And then you look at the Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards, like he was the playoffs this year. Like Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves, they only won 1 game against Dallas. Like you can't just like you if you're looking at what Dallas had and you're saying Kyrie and Luka was it, Dallas just had a lot of other real gritty guys that helped get them there because they ain't have nobody else but Kyrie and Luka. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have nobody else. They got guys coming of age like the Derek Lively's and the kid that they got from the Wizards that he was kind of balling, Gafford, and then PJ Washington who was nowhere to be found. We're looking for him on a milk carton right now in these finals because he was nowhere to be found
Yeah,
the
I don't know what
entire
was going on with that.
the entire finals. So Dallas got a lot of Dallas might need to draft Bronny so they can get Bron or something. I don't know, but they got a lot of explaining to do. Them guys who was supposed to be helping because Tim Hardaway, trash. He was nowhere to
Yeah,
be
I
found.
don't. Yeah, he got get him out of here.
They was talking about, oh man, the most threes in the fourth quarter of the finals. They were up 30 at
Yeah,
that point.
but
Like,
me personally, I thought that him scoring that many points was good for him to get his shot in, so he can be ready for the finals. But that wasn't enough.
right, but he barely played this finals. That shows to what he's been able to do like for the team. Like the Dallas Mavericks played like a rotation of maybe 7. Like they didn't play a lot of guys. They
No, they
had a
did.
they had a rotation of like 7, and Tim Hardaway was like screeching in that at that 8 spot. The game before he went crazy from 3 when they was already up 30. The game before he was like 0 for 10.
Yeah, it
0
was
for
bad.
he 0 points, 30 plus minutes. Like nah, bro.
Yeah,
Like nah.
definitely.
Like
I don't know what he was. But you know what though? Honestly, bro, and it reared his nasty head, and it was the worst time for it to rear his head was in the finals. If this was to happen, I wish this was to happen in the either first or second round for them. Like if Minnesota gave them a little bit more comp
mhm,
and they were able to figure out more things. Minnesota wasn't able to adjust to what Mavericks was doing. So Mavericks just did their regular shit. So they didn't really have to adjust too much, right?
exactly.
And you have now a team that didn't really have to adjust even throughout the fight, I mean, the whole playoffs, right? What were they really doing? It was a Kyrie and Luca show for like the majority of the playoffs.
It
And
was. They only lost what 4 games before the
right,
finals.
yeah. So they were doing their damn best. And I feel like this shows you that you have to have a competent team because the talent people sleeping on like the players not being as smart basketball wise, but their talent is there. And I believe that you can still teach them things if you are really um about that. Like if you really want the team to win, like everybody's going to be able to do something. Somebody has to do
Mhm.
something. Like Derek White did something. Think about this. I think I want to give a lot of shout out. I want to give a big shout out to Al Horford.
Mhm.
This
Mhm.
man has been probably the most annoying big man I've ever seen. The mere fact this man can stretch all the way to the point, the 3-point line, defend you, and all the way back to the center is kind of crazy. How
Crazy.
agile he is. He can shoot a three when you need him. He reminds me like the big man, the Derek Fisher of the, how
A
the
big
Lakers. You feel me? Like
right.
he's like the Derek Fisher. Like for some reason,
I
he
know
just
what
gives me
you're
them
saying.
vibes. You know what I mean? Just that guy that does the things that you need to do to win the game. He's a complete basketball player in my eyes.
Right.
Every time I'm like, yo, they're gonna get him. He just finds a way to like defend the big guy. Like, think about it. He's able to defend these young big guys, and he's a super veteran in this league. Like, we
Mhm.
got to give a
Mhm.
lot of love to Al Horford, man. You know what I mean? He's been like defending wise. He's been neutralizing everybody's bigs.
I was just
He,
gonna say that one of the defending wise, I was just gonna compliment him on that too because one of the biggest things that separated um, the Celtics from the Timberwolves is that they had five people on the floor that if there was a screen, Al Horford was guarding Luca at some point.
He
You
was
know,
he
like
he was sprint out to him. Like he
right,
won't just laissez like you know what I mean, like drag his feet. No, he's coming out to defend you. I feel like every play Al Horford plays is like top notch play. Like he's like, yo, where are you getting this energy from, bro? Damn, you
hmm
ain't no old ass. You know what I'm saying? Like we really got to put Al Horford up there in conversation.
yeah, for
Um,
sure, 100%.
Porzingis. I mean, how do you feel about him? Getting the chip, leaving New York in the state he had left New York and then got to Celtics and was injury battered. But when he came to play, bro, he played. Like,
Yeah, I think barring injury, man, Porzingis and Drew Holiday were the key contributors to them winning the championship. Like,
right, yeah,
if
that's crazy, right? How vital they were. But
a
that
hundred
just like
percent.
look how many players we named that not the two that that the media would talk about
Hmm
that were just that effective.
Yeah, the game that Porzingis had, the games that Porzingis actually played in this finals, he was partially one of the reasons as to why they won those games. Game one, he
Facts.
went bananas.
Yo, he went crazy, bro.
He
Like he
went
was in the
bananas
lab
game
going,
one.
wow.
Yeah. He went crazy game one. And then even this game, like he couldn't guard nobody and you could see that. But like he is well deserved. He is grown as a player. He played for Dallas last year. They gave him up.
I remember they
Um,
gave him up. Yeah, but
yeah.
but that watch this. There's a steady trend up, and I don't want to do this to Luca. I don't want to come off as a hater because I didn't like him in the beginning, but I grew to like his game, like his offensive game. He
hmm
reminded me like a white boy, Carmelo Anthony.
Mm,
Like he give me them like you know what I mean, like kind of sturdy, like a big kind of guy.
yeah, yeah. Not like
Has
his game wise, but like his size.
his size
Right.
and the style he kind of gives. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it just like if Luca's inside the middle of the paint and he hitting you with like up fakes, left, right, you know what I'm saying? Like he hitting you with everything, like a
hmm
full arsenal. And like I feel like Carmelo Anthony was something of the similar. Like I think Luca might have a better shooter's touch than Carmelo, just a tad bit better. You know what I'm saying?
I think that could be. Here's the thing with the difference with Luca and Melo, and I get what you're saying body frame wise. The
Yeah.
difference with Luca and Melo is that Melo actually was framed out like that, like broad shoulders, like he was a bigger guy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Naturally.
Right. Like Luca needs to lose weight. Like
Yeah.
he is a liability on defense. He is more of like a Paul George, like kind of like an out of shape, but could really not Paul George. I'm sorry. Paul Pierce was kind of like out of
Right.
shape.
Yeah. When Paul. Yeah. I agree
You
with
know what
that.
I'm
I agree with
saying?
that.
But could kind
Mhm.
of do it. And then when it comes to like scoring, Melo was like bar none, like probably top five scorers of
Facts.
all time. But Luca, you know, I would go as far as comparing Luka to Bron, bro. Like the man is a
You,
walking triple double.
you know what it is too. You know where people, I can see where people could say Luca is probably a better shooter than Bron because you know what I noticed, bro. People like styles. The casuals
Mm,
like styles. They like the way you shoot the ball. Like think about this: Sean Marion ain't get no love, right? But he was like, was it Sean Marion? What's the
yeah,
name
yeah,
from
Sean
Phoenix?
Marion.
Yeah,
If you're talking about his jump shot, it is definitely Sean Marion.
yeah, wild ass jump shot, bro. But it was hitting them hoes. You feel me? But the way it looked was ugly, so nobody wants to replicate that. You feel me? It doesn't look aesthetically pleasing to some people, right? So they kind of
Mm,
like favor another shooter. Like so, like I could see people saying Luca is a better scorer or better shooter than LeBron or like you know what I'm saying style wise, like kind of
yeah,
like when he has when he goes like he's like he doesn't have the same driving like 100% percentage when LeBron does it, but when Luca does it, like all outside of the rim, oh my gosh, he hits you from everywhere. And Bron does
hmm
it, I think Bron does it in like spurts. So that's why his stats do like looks like the way it looks because he doesn't do it on every night. But when he does like score like that, it's like you can't do nothing, bro. It's over. And Luca scores like that. Like Luca will hit you with some like wild ass step back three and the shit up in the air like a rainbow and it just hit. I'm like,
hmm
what the fuck?
like it be points to where Luka could really go like 20 straight.
Somebody told
Like,
me, and that's 100% correct. Somebody added to your point. Somebody told me that Luca is a groove shooter. Like when he's in LeBron's a groove shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like when LeBron's in his groove, bro, you don't jack the ball. Let him do his thing. And but that I think that was that's the downfall and show you the retrospect. That's I think the downfall of the Dallas Mavericks, right? They see this ability in Luca. The owner sees this ability in Luca, but the owner's not a basketball player, right?
mhm.
So, and you know, kind of how overbearing I think he seems like he's not, but he sometimes in his recruitment of certain players, it shows. Like when you get a player like oh boy from the Knicks, right? You grab him. Real talk, you shouldn't have never grabbed him. You know why? Because he needs the ball to score. And if Luca has the ball, you just making him a spot up shooter. And that's not his
Mhm.
game. I mean,
Mhm.
he can do it, but that's not his game. So
That's why I think they had to let Jalen Brunson go.
yeah, right. But then look how much of an offensive threats you're letting go. That just shows me that you don't know how to either Luca does not incorporate his game with the players, or the coach doesn't know how to incorporate his star player with everybody else, or I'll go even above the coach. The owner doesn't want nobody else to be better than Luca. You
I
know what I'm
think
saying?
with I think with word placement, you can argue that too because there was a point in time where he was like, I think acquiring Kyrie was great because Kyrie has the second best ball handling in the league behind Luca, and it's with no disrespect because these guys are talented, but you look at organizations like the Dallas Mavericks and the San Antonio Spurs, and those organizations flourish off of European basketball. So
100%, 100%.
like they gravitate towards marketing that player. Dirk for 20 years had the
Right,
Dallas Mavericks on his back,
right.
and it wasn't a point to where there was somebody else. They tried the Dennis Smith wave, the kid out of North Carolina State who could jump real high. They drafted him, and he didn't pan out. And they got Luca in a trade and sent Derek Smith, Dennis Smith packing somewhere. I can't remember where they sent him, but he's no longer in the league. You know what I'm saying? So they gravitate towards that European style basketball, and Luca is going to have this team for the next 20 years.
Yeah, and how much they're gonna have to pay him? You know,
Oh,
you want to make
he's about
yeah,
to get the chicken.
yeah, and
Hmm
you know, I feel bad for Kyrie because he couldn't get it going, and the player he is now, he's not if he's not gonna force it, so he's gonna give it to Luca. and he's just gonna play. You could tell this is a thing that he's doing now to preserve
Mm-hmm.
himself, because I think he's thinking about his brand as well. Like, I'm not about to overdo it and hurt myself, and I can't. I just got this new shoe brand. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna give 100%, but I'm not gonna give 110%. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because what's the common kind of conversation about Kyrie? Kyrie gonna do his thing. Kyrie gonna do his thing, right? If he's not showing up on the offensive side, he's showing up on the defensive side. He's showing up on ball movement. He's showing up off ball movement. He's doing all the things that need to be done to help the team win if he's not scoring, right? But
Right.
the problem is that they don't even put enough faith in him to score. They kind of just lean on Luka, and it's like, yo, bro, you watch this. Look at what the other team did. Jason Tatum's supposed to be the guy, right? He's supposed to be the golden boy and everything, right? But who
Mm-hmm.
was taking over? Jalen Brown. They
I
were
heard it
running.
was no, go ahead, my bad.
No, you sure? Go ahead.
No, I heard it was like in the NBA it was formatted a bit different. Like Melo was saying, like when he went to Houston, in Houston, they formatted things to where they said James Harden got to get these amount of shots from these particular
Right. I
areas.
remember hearing that. Yeah.
Right. And I think it might be the same with Kyrie, to a point to where like Kyrie scores in spurts, like you said. But the thing is with that dynamic is that Luca is someone right now that you could start a franchise with. Kyrie isn't. So he's on his way out. So you gotta kind of like
You think
you
Kyrie's
gotta
on his way out?
Kyrie is like on the tail end of his NBA career. He's young.
I don't.
He's younger than us, obviously, but
Real talk. Real talk. If you was to give him the keys, I don't. I probably I disagree with you. Only
what I'm
reason why
saying is, well, what
I
I'm
know what you
saying
mean.
is,
Like, as far as in youth wise, Kyrie would be moving towards. Yeah, I agree 100% with you. Kyrie,
like,
youth wise, he's moving out the door, and the new kind of coming into his prime is like, because I think Kyrie is in near the quarter end of his prime, right? He's getting close to the end of his prime. Whereas in
Kyrie
Luca is,
is,
mhm,
he is, I would say, yeah, he's at the end of his prime.
yeah, he's like getting right there where like like we were talking about how he scores his points, he maintains his body because the more he does, the more he's not going to stay longer. So I think more of it is a business thing as well, which isn't you have to play that game at the end of the day. You know what I mean? If you're smart enough, you're playing that game. Whereas in
Like, if
Luca
you
is
look at it, yeah,
mhm.
yeah, go ahead. My
No, I
bad.
was gonna say where Luca is, he's coming out of his ignorance. Like, this is probably going to be his last stage of ignorance, right? Where now he's going to come into his prime, where now he's going to be on his, like, I could say on his KD shit.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Going crazy, scoring crazy, playing defense now because he's forced to play deep, right? Or what would you think he's going to work on this summer? What would you think
Well,
he would need to work on this summer?
I think Luca has to get in shape because he can't stay in front of anybody. He is like,
Nobody.
it's hard for
So
him to
he
stay in front of people. Like, I think scoring on Luca, people were shooting. I think like the percentage in like how many baskets he was giving
it
up
was a
was like
plus. It was
almost like
like plus 16 or some shit like that. It was some crazy shit.
it was almost like 70% field goal percentage,
Yeah.
bro. It was crazy. So he has to get right with that. But you're looking at a lot of young players right now in the NBA that really have put a stamp on saying this is our league. Like Jason Tatum, 26, Luca, 26. Shea, 24, but I think he's like 24 or 20. Like
Yeah,
these guys,
yeah, they kind
you
of
know,
young.
Nikola Jokic, 27. These guys are in the MVP conversation year by year. Anthony
Right.
Edwards, 22. Like when you're looking at guys like Kyrie and Bron and KD, like it's kind of like they've passed the torch. Not saying that he's at the tail end of his career, but
No,
he is
I agree
already
with you. I agree with that. I know what you're saying. I got you.
right. He is already almost like past the torch. So he was looked at as like the key veteran in the playoffs remaining. You know what I'm saying? No Steph Curry,
But
no Bron, no
they didn't.
KD.
My problem with that was that they did. K- Jason Kidd didn't do that. Like, he didn't treat Kyrie like a veteran. He treated Kyrie like a, you know what I'm saying? Even though they did run plays for Kyrie, I seen them run play like these, like in the early in the game, trying to get him
Mm-hmm.
get his shot off. But why are you trying to run 3-point games? Get him in the mid range. Get him a layup.
The point of emphasis was getting him and Luka their shots. The big issue was that Kyrie almost needed a solidified third scoring option for Dallas because
Yeah,
the defense that the Celtics was throwing at them, they was switching on everything.
bro. Did
Like
you
I
see
like
when they cornered him to the point where he had
yeah,
an angle? He had an angle, but he couldn't make that shot. Right? He
like
passed it
we were
in that
saying
alley.
earlier. hmm He
I
passed
was
it in
like,
the
whoa.
alley.
Yeah, remember when he was in that quarter, the first quarter, he was in the corner and he was trapped. They trapped him. Like he got the ball, then he was driving in the lane. Then they just rushed him, like they blitzed him, and then he was like in the corner, so he jumped up and it looked like he was gonna shoot it. Then he passed the ball, like he passed it off his right hand, and I
hmm
think it was Lively. Who was the light skinned dude with the little fro?
Oh yeah. I
You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
saw that. I definitely
So
saw
like
that. Yeah.
you need it, but my thing is, yo, all he's good for is dunks. He don't got no
Yeah.
mid range. He can't pull out the, you know what I'm saying? Like he can't open it up for Kyrie to even get in the lane. Kyrie got to do
hmm
too much to get in the lane. And now you got two people that's honed in on him. Like they got a game plan for this nigga, bro.
Kyrie was getting off against the Timberwolves and against the Clippers because PJ Washington was playing well. He was hitting shots.
Right. You had a third player playing
Right.
good.
Right. Derrick Jones is playing well, hitting shots. Like Kyrie is his skill set is beyond anybody else, but he's 6'3". You know what I'm
Yeah, no,
saying?
yeah, and it's I mean, and he's not built like a truck, so he can't
Right.
move people with his body. You know what I'm saying? I mean, with the speed, he probably can if he catch you off guard. But more
hmm
than likely, he has to exert a lot of energy to get past you. To you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Just to fuck up the whole like he's really fucking up 3 layers of defense just to get to the cup. Whereas in some players just need like Luca, one step and he's there. With
hmm
Kyrie, got to break down one nigga, then he got to break down the second nigga, then he got to break down the third nigga, then he scored. So Kyrie's doing because of his size, is 6'3", so he has to do a lot to even score. So then you compound that with not even getting the rock enough to even get like find my groove on the basketball court. Because Luca could find his shot anywhere. My thing was, yo, get Kyrie going in the first half and get Luca doing what he got to do in the fourth quarter. When they down 6 points, you got Luca coming off these screens doing these things, and then but when PJ, I think they was setting like I think they did the same play for like was it PJ Washington? No, was it PJ Washington? Yeah, I think they were doing the plays for PJ Washington. He was hit like 2 threes back to back, like bang bang. I'm like,
hmm
oh, okay, so he's scoring. And then they got away from whatever they were doing for him back to Luca, and that's what threw the whole game off. And then let's give it up to Boston's offense too, bro. How they were
hmm
just finding ways to score, man. They were
It's
getting
almost
back on
like
the ball.
they go into stages to where they really just like it's like, oh, Kyrie needs some shots now. Let's just let him shoot ISO. They don't really. It's not like they don't
Right,
like
yeah.
set a
Go ahead.
ton of
Talk about it. Yep.
screens and
Mm-hmm.
they don't
Mm-hmm.
they don't set up an offense to where like they set a ton of screens. Like if he's in a difficult situation, you'll see Lively pop up for a screen or whatnot. But when Luca come down, it's like a half court offense. It's like niggas
Fact.
move, niggas do like it was like when Kyrie had the ball, it was like, all right, everybody spread out, pause, you know what I'm saying? Everybody spread out, and make sure you don't get in his way when he dribbling. Like set something up for him, like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
set some
Enough
plays where niggas is moving through the back door. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
some shit, but they don't got the. I mean, Lively is good, but bro, I ain't gonna hold you. One of them big men got to go. You gonna need a scoring big man.
Yeah.
And me personally, I like Lively, but it's gonna be a toss up between him and the big guy because they play well. I mean, they did their job. They did what they were supposed to do, but you know they were outclassed. And my thing is, if everybody's seeing this, then you know for a fact they're gonna have a regular big man and a scoring big man because
Yeah, that's what's gonna have to happen.
you feel me. You're gonna and if let's say this is a 3 and D big man, and they're grooming these young kids that are looking like that right now. So
hmm
you grab somebody up that can do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What's the name gone?
Lively is going to have to be the one that's going to stay. They just drafted him. I think he's in his second year now.
Yeah.
Gafford is almost like he went through his little Montrezl Harrell stage. Remember when Montrezl Harrell was real hot
Mm-hmm.
for the Clippers, and
Yeah.
he was like a key player. Once he left the Clippers, it was done up. This
Yeah.
guy, Gafford, I think he had a really good run. He might have solidified a
He
contract somewhere.
definitely got a contract. Yep.
Yeah, but Dallas can't use him. They need a scoring big, like you said.
Yeah.
They need somebody who they could give the ball to and who could score.
Yeah. And they will have to, and I think Luka and Kyrie gonna have to play. I mean, how many years they've been playing with each other now? This is the second year?
Yeah, I think this is year two,
I
and I think Kyrie just re-signed.
okay, so I believe next year, I know they're gonna I promise you they're gonna probably look for a point guard to replace Kyrie. Um, but I believe uh Kyrie and Luca play together again. They kind of because this is a lesson that they have to learn. Regardless,
Here's
Luca's young. He don't know what
yeah,
he you know he's supposed to be the one that's supposed to be taking over as in the league, and Kyrie's here to mentor him to be the one to take over. So that's that might be a 2-3 year process. We
it's
don't know.
it's a Kyrie might be the best fit to play with Luca. To be honest with you, it is hard to find a team that could build around that you can build like
Agreed.
you see it with LeBron right now. Like it's hard to build a team around LeBron because he is just so ball dominant. Like Luca has the ball in his hand like a lot, bro. And if he don't, Kyrie got the ball in his hand, dribbling around the place trying to make something happen. But the offense run through Luca, like everything goes through Luca. Like it's hard to
But can you win a championship like that?
you seen it with you seen Braun do it.
Right.
But he needs more than just the Kyrie. Like the Cavs had more than just Kyrie. Like they had J.R. Smith knocking down the three consistently.
Consistently.
They had Kevin Love still making big plays, rebounding,
Big
knocking down the
plays.
three. They
What
had Tristan
was the most
Thompson.
think about this. He was a Kevin Love was
Hmm.
they had him as a stand in the corner 3-point shooter, and that's not even his game. And
Right.
think about how good he was at doing that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Chris Bosh. Oh no, they didn't have Chris Bosh at Cavs. They
No, they
had
didn't have Chris Bosh. They had at that point I said they had Tristan Thompson. He's sorry, but he
but he
was
was
like
he was serviceable. He was
he was
serviceable.
leading. He at that year he led the league in offensive rebounds. Like
Yeah, he was. Yeah. You're right. You're right. He was killing them.
so they had guys who you would say was like
Was doing shit.
like I think Gafford was almost like Tristan Thompson this year. You know what I'm
he,
saying
he
for the
played he
Mavs.
played he played an exceptional role, like you said. I think he played a phenomenal role. I
Hmm.
don't see where you can change anything about him. He did what he was supposed to do.
You
He
know who
went
would
he
be a
went
great fit for Dallas?
was that
Klay Thompson. Because Klay Thompson is going into the point of his career to where you really just want Klay Thompson to shoot. You don't want bunch of
you
Klay
would want
Thompson.
another veteran on there, like something like a Clay Thompson. For Luca,
Hmm.
the humble Luca, to understand that you're not the only scorer here. You need to, because Kyrie, even though Kyrie might be dominant on the court, but like his personality says, "Yo, you trying to do your thing, man? All right, let's go." You need
Hmm.
another personality where it's like, "Hey, he's scoring this shit. Let's get it. We try and win." You need a personality like that. I just gonna like because why did it wait? Why did they wait until game 3 to really have that conversation? Because I think there was like a thing where they all was talking to each other and like had a conversation with each other. Why did y'all wait till that game to have that convo?
Right.
So y'all been having this issue with this man or whatever the case may be prior. This shit should have happened weeks ago. Right after y'all
Hmm.
won 2 days, y'all talking about this shit like, hey man, blah, 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 blah. Luca, you gotta pass the ball, bro. You gotta, hey coach, man, you gotta change this. You gotta change some of these plays. Try to get some what's name active because we could score 2 off the dribble. Da, da, da. Like it's like
Hmm.
they're not even having those kind of conversations, and they wait until this point that happened in the finals to kind of have a spat with each other. You know, it can only
And it's
go
because
two ways.
And I think it's almost because they just haven't been there, you know?
Right. They just young. They Kyrie's there, but Kyrie's not gonna be the bad guy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
He's just not gonna be the bad. Not in this part of his career. He's not gonna be the bad. He don't want to be the bad guy.
I saw I saw an article today saying that they have their eyes on Bronny James, which a lot of people are ultimately speculating that would lead to them getting LeBron too. But that just would be a horrible fit if
Man,
if LeBron.
Bronny James coming off the bench.
I'm talking
LeBron
about
running.
LeBron.
LeBron going to the Black Mavs. Let's see. How would that work?
Him and Luca are the same person.
Yeah. So, but who's bringing up the ball?
Right. That'll be bad. That'll
That's
just not
horrible.
work. Yeah. Like they do the same exact thing. Like you don't want to just think of Bron as this spot up shooter right now because that's just not Bron. You know, Luca has more of a you would say, hey, Luca could turn into this spot up shooter like Kevin Love was or like
It,
J.R. Smith was, but that's
hey,
taken away from his game.
it can work. You just need good coaching, bro. If you tell, hey, you want to win a championship this year, we need you to do this. You want to win a championship there, we need you to do this. You don't have to be a spot up shooter, but at times, please do the spot up shooting. When you see something open, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how you got to come at these niggas, bro. At this point,
Please
like
do
please,
spot
bro.
up shooter.
You feel me? Just please, bro. Like, because it got to be ego, bro. It has to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the situation with Pat Riley and Jimmy Butler. Look at that ego. That was this ego. What possessed
Wait,
you
what
to come
happened with
out?
that?
Remember when Pat Riley came out was like, "Yo, if you're not playing, you shouldn't be talking about other people playing."
Yeah.
Yo, shut up. I be balling, nigga. I be balling. My knee got fucked up because I be balling. Like, what you talking about?
Right,
Like, relax. You ain't. When last time you dribbled up and down the court? All you doing
right,
is
right.
yapping. You know what I mean? Yapping and drawing. That's all you doing right now. Relax. You old as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like you grabbed me up. You knew my knee was fucked. You knew I was fucked up. You knew what it was. So cut it out. Cut the cap. You know what I'm saying? So that shows me that I don't want to be under something like that. When the talking piece of the owner is dissing me, and when I'm having a competitive talk with my teammates to bring more value to the Miami Heat, come on, fuck
Yeah,
out of here.
yeah.
But
Like it's almost like Pat Riley wants to limit how marketable these players are. Like
yeah.
Jimmy
Oh, we
Butler
just
is marketable.
Yeah. Oh, we're just a ground and pound kind of guys. Like, we're just blue collar. We come into work. We are 10% efficient in fat. What is the fuck? What does that do? What I gotta do with anything, bro?
Mm,
We seeing a nigga out of shape in the finals right now. What are you talking about?
it's crazy.
Like, you got niggas on a boxing diet? What the fuck wrong with y'all? Oh, you gotta come in at 134. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
crazy, bro. But yeah, man. Shout out to the Celtics, man. What do you see? What do you see them running it back next year?
I think it might be hard for the Celtics to repeat because I don't foresee teams like the. I think teams like the Timberwolves are going to get better. I think you're going to always have to worry about Denver. I just think the Celtics kind of lucked up and got a chance to play against a Dallas instead of a Minnesota or instead of a Denver.
Would you say
Um,
that's the same situation that the Milwaukee Bucks had? Because it sounds similar,
uh,
right?
Playing against Phoenix, right?
Right. Yeah.
I would say so because Phoenix didn't really have anything like
Yeah. They ain't have
Cameron.
shit.
Yeah, I think like Cameron Johnson, he was knocking down the occasional jump side. Michael Bridges was doing all right, but they was trying to run through Devin Booker, and nobody else was really getting anything done. Or I think was Cameron Johnson already done? No, yes, Cameron Johnson was on that team. Then you had Chris Paul at point guard. Um, it was just sloppy for that
Yeah.
Phoenix
It was
team.
bad
It was
basketball,
sloppy.
bro.
It was sloppy. They didn't like the coach. The coach got fired the year after. Like it was sloppy.
Yo, and then what was the big man? What was the big man name that left?
DeAndre Ayton. He was also
L-
like, man, he killed
lazy ass nigga, bro.
it. I'm not
Lazy.
getting the ball. He was
Oh, yo, I'm tired, bro. I don't want to play no more. Like, yo,
crazy.
I never in my life see, you know what I mean? Like, respect to you as a man, but man, y'all niggas be crying too much, bro. Like, no, I get when you getting ran into the ground or some shit like that, but the way he was complaining, bro. I'm
Hmm.
like, bro, like you, but I guess was the coach named Monty? Was that his name?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like he did a good job with them. He was the only one that can get whatever he can get out of them because
He did a good job with them. I think he might have ran into an issue where Chris Paul had a lot of say because of his veteran leadership.
I shit on me,
And
nigga. You ain't win shit, nigga. We in the same boat. Shut the fuck
right,
up.
right. I think guys like DeAndre Ayton didn't like that, and
Yeah, he was the main one crying on TV. Oh, like,
mhm,
yeah, this there. I'm always showing up. I'm always like, yo, he just crying too much, bro. Like,
right.
shout out to the players that do be crying and they be making like make sense, but the way he was crying was like crazy, bro. But they needed
Hmm.
somebody like him in Phoenix, man. So you would have had to curtail his personality like how Minnesota curtailed Karl Anthony Towns, right? You would have to just get individuals that kind of blend with because he's a great player. Like he's a great player. He's a great player. I really think he's a great player, but he just be bitching, bro. And he let like social media and all that shit get to him, bro.
I think Karl Anthony Towns definitely has to go.
Where he
I think
going?
the big thing about Karl Anthony Towns is the fact that he is just a liability on defense. He fouls out every fucking game.
Yo,
Like,
he be looking crazy playing D. Yo, niggas talk about Luca looking crazy. Yo, the facial expressions Towns be having when he get blown by be looking nuts. Or when he be trying to play D, yo, he be looking. Let me see if there's a picture of this nigga, bro. Shout out to Karl Anthony Towns. He's a great player. Oh, nah, this shit. Before I end the night, I
he,
gotta see this.
he's a problem on defense. Bro be fouling out all the time.
He be like, yo, what? His shoulders be all up in his head. What? What do you mean? I didn't touch him. Oh my god.
I remember
This
when
kid.
bro lost in the playoffs when I think it was the year Pat Beverly was crying. You know when in soccer they be kissing their hands to the fans and stuff like that and waving. Carl Anthony Towns was walking to the locker room, bro. Y'all lost in the first round, bro, or second round, I think it was. They lost in the
They
second
might have
round to
lost in the first
Celtics.
round, bro.
I
I
think it
think it was.
was the first round actually.
Yeah, I don't think it was the second round.
I think they beat the Clippers for the play-in and then lost in the first round. Bro started kissing his hands like, boy, this is
Yo,
what movies are made of.
I gotta look at it. They got memes of him. Hold on, let me see. It's the memes app, bro. They scrubbed the memes off the internet. That nigga be looking crazy. Nah, they don't. They don't got it. They still got the old ones. I hate Google, bro. Fuck Google. But yeah, man. Nah, he be looking crazy when he be getting put on defense.
Yeah,
His feet, he be moving his feet like a little man.
I think they would it would be justified if they traded him now because he's still a younger player. And I think they can get another big man that can score, but they need somebody to consistently score. Like what he
Where,
does is bogus.
yeah, where
Like,
would you? I mean, yeah, and then yo, you know what really exposed him this year was that 3-point shit he was talking about. Yo, I hit
mhm,
like 22% of three, 100, 1,000 threes a day. I'm like, bro, why are you shooting that many threes anyway, bro? And your
mhm,
percentage is low as hell. Hit mid range and go inside. You are a big man. Like you literally are. You could turn your body violent. That's how crazy his like size is. Pause. Like
mhm,
he has the
100%.
you know what I'm saying? He has the body to like really get rid of a lot of big men in the paint. You know what I'm saying? Like people like Al Horford has no match to him. People like Lively is no match to him. Look how skinny Lively is compared to Karl-Anthony Towns. If Karl put his body on somebody, bro, like for real, like use his whole body, like, bro, dominant as hell. Shit, he got more mass than what's the old boy from the Lakers? Um, what's his name?
AD,
What?
Anthony
AD,
Davis.
yeah, AD.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got more mass than AD because when he posts up AD, bro, AD be looking little as hell, bro.
I think what the Timberwolves should really do is the Timberwolves should scratch their claw at somebody like an OG Ananobi, who he's probably not going to give you an average of 28 points, but he can play the 3 and the 4.
Get
So
ball.
defensively,
Fuck that.
hell no. And
Why
I
not?
like Bobo, but hell no, bro. You're trying to imagine Wimby right now on Bobo, and Bobo is
No,
not
no, no.
giving
I'm
you
talking
that.
about like scoring wise, like in the paint,
No,
turn around right there.
no, that's Bobo's problem, bro. Bobo wants to live at the 3-point line. Bobo don't go in there and work
Oh,
out.
okay.
That's
Okay.
Bobo's problem. He wants to be a screen and pop, a pick and pop type guy. Like
Oh.
like you see Wimby catching alley oops going down, and like Bobo he's not. He'll dunk on somebody on some alley oop shit, but like he catch a rebound, he's spinning around doing a fadeaway jump shot, bro. Like that's
He trying to
Bobo's
play like
problem.
he a new nigga on a new team type shit, trying to get like trying
Tripping.
to
He
yeah,
think it's AAU basketball.
yeah.
He think he playing AAU basketball. That's his problem. He could play just like Wimby. He just doesn't.
That's a good analogy.
But you get somebody like OG Ananobi, and honestly, as wild as it sounds, like get you do a reach, like shoot for the stars. Try to get you like KD, somebody who
That
can
that
score.
would be but then let's talk about. I mean, I'll say that for another topic. We gotta talk about KD. We gotta talk about KD because I feel like his talent is being going drying up, and I feel like Kyrie and KD should have never linked because like whatever that thing was, it like cursed their ass, bro.
It was like they went into a dark tunnel.
Yeah, bro. And they
Yeah.
fighting to get out that shit. Like they fighting like crazy, like hella enemies, bro.
Mm-hmm. You know that black hole in of what was the Brooklyn Nets
That
was
was yeah.
was crazy.
I think that fucked Kyrie up, bro. Real talk.
Yeah, they
As
went
good as the
into a
player is, that fucked him up, bro.
they went into a rough time, and that was also like during the COVID years.
Yeah, that was kind of like you real
Like
talk. You could say a nigga got personally probably scarred mentally from that.
yeah,
The
hundred
vitriol that
percent.
he was getting for like, you know what I'm saying? And then the combative because Kyrie is Kyrie will combat with you. Like, up north, we don't play shit. Like we
Hmm.
ain't about to let you talk crazy to us. But at the same time, like he knows the position that he's in. So the mere fact that he went D1 crash out on them niggas, like it was funny as hell. Like he was like literally lighting every reporter up. That shit was funny as shit.
I'm
So,
not gonna
but
lie to you though.
mhm.
Like you can see, like you said, to point to what it did. Like it played. It was mentally demoralizing, bro. Like
Mhm.
it was. I had my wife ask me just the other day, like, actually when she found out we were older than him, she was like, "What?
Oh yeah. For
Ain't
sure.
no way, bro. Looks like he is. He got grays everywhere. He
Stress.
looks
I mean, he got a lot
stressed.
going on. A lot going. He got a lot
Yeah,
outside of basketball. He has a lot going on.
yeah.
You know, he got to travel to China. He got to, you know what I'm saying? He got a lot going on, bro.
He got to continue to build his brand.
Hmm. Then you got to think about this. You got to worry about billion-dollar companies trying to bring down your brand.
Hmm.
How much you want to bet in the coming weeks we're gonna hear bad shit about Kyrie? They're gonna try to put bad shit on
Just
Kyrie.
because, just
Hmm.
because they about to start it. Just 2 months ago, Kyrie was the most skilled person in the league because of that left hand floater that he hit against
Man,
the Denver Nuggets. Tomorrow, watch First Take. Everybody watch First Take tomorrow.
And
Just watch
we
First Take.
we gotta we gotta have the conversation, y'all. We gotta have the conversation, y'all.
Got to.
Cop. No. This is what we're gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta, Stephen A.
Right.
We gotta have the conversation, y'all. I'm being serious. I'm being real serious. Kyrie's not who we thought he was.
Right.
I said it. Kyrie's not who we said he was. In the moment you supposed to show up, you only scored 15 points. Now they said I had a problem with the brother, but I know I have a problem with his game. You know what I'm saying? That's some shit like I can see if Stephen A. really want to go crazy, which I think he probably is.
That's sports media now. It's just
talking shit about people, bro.
Talking shit, bro. Like years ago, during the COVID time when Kyrie didn't want to get vaccinated, Stephen A. and Shaq talking about he should just retire. Then you gonna come,
that was crazy. That was nasty to say.
and then you come 4 years later and say he's the most skilled player. Like
that, and dapping me up.
Adding up. The shit is like the sports media now is just temporary as hell. It's 24-hour media.
What you show? You know what? You know where they messed up at? And I'm glad you're taking us with this over here. Where they mess up at is they think that because they're alive, they're older, they have more rulership over you.
Mm-hmm.
They want to exhibit any form of power that they're allowed to. So they do that to Kyrie because they're allowed to do it to Kyrie. This is a moment where I can show that I'm powerful. So let me show, I'm gonna put my quote unquote power on this young guy and say all these nasty things. I'm talking about he should retire, bro.
Mm-hmm.
From basketball. Shaq, your ankles would be disappearing if you was in front of Kyrie.
Right. Why you gotta retire? Bro is not even 30 years old.
Bruh. And trying to make it work with James Harden and Kevin Durant.
That just didn't work. That just was.
Bro, no. The reason why it didn't work is because they had a stupid ass coach, Steve Nash. Who said he could even coach? Why? Why they don't got no fucking black coach, bro?
They had Ime Udoka as the assistant, and he was a hell of a coach.
Right. What the fuck is they doing? You had Steve Nash?
I think he was in Philly at that time. I'm sorry.
Oh, was he? Okay.
They should have gone after him as their head coach.
Steve Nash but see Kyrie and this is what Kyrie messed up at. Yo, we can play blah blah blah. Like if you're gonna rebel, be a real rebel. Like say the rebellion.
He was saying things in light of the fact that Steve Nash was there but just not there. Like he was saying stuff like
Steve Nash was trash.
Yeah, he was like, we really don't need a coach. We're grown men. We know the game. It's about this. And
that's crazy to talk about your coach.
Stuff like that. Yeah, like you can't do that at the same time, bro. And I guess that came with like immaturity and like I said, whatever.
That is immaturity, but you got to think about this, right? Kyrie, like, yo, this shit don't make no fucking sense, nigga. 100%. What are you talking about?
100%. But
and we don't even highlight that. You allow that kind of thing. Think of even Darvin Ham, bro. Why is that? Why is he a coach?
Let's go back to the Nets, though. You think the owners of the Brooklyn Nets sat down with KD and Kyrie and did not ask their opinion on who the head coach would be? They got to take blame for some of that shit. You getting KD off of NBA Finals. I know he was hurt, but coming off of NBA Finals.
You know why I don't believe that? Because why is Kyrie even saying that? Let's put all these factors into play. Kyrie's intelligent. has Kyrie shown us any form of continual immaturity? Right? He doesn't show us too much of that. We don't see it. So all of a sudden, it rears its head when he's speaking on the game of basketball, saying that yo, we could do our own thing. So that's us. That to us, that's like a sign of rebellion, right? Boom. If you are rebellious to something, that means you were when you got to that state, something else was going on which you was trying to prevent, and it didn't stop it. So you got to here. So they must have said nah. And looking how the owner was moving, it makes sense because look how the owner was suspending Kyrie for no reason. Like it wasn't even like in the NBA law to do what they were doing to Kyrie. That was like illegal. Like I think they could get sued or some shit like that was going on. It was doing some wild shit. So even the owner wasn't even listening to Kyrie or Durant or Harden. You could tell by their style of basketball. Why am I saying we could do our own thing if that means somebody not listening to us?
The
So we're just gonna do
battle
our
in
own thing.
Brooklyn, the battle in Brooklyn was no longer a basketball battle, bro.
No, it stopped. Whatever it got politics.
It was a
It,
political battle.
when he started remember, peep this. Kyrie saging the fucking, you know what I'm saying? He's
Hmm.
saging the whole thing.
Just scaring people.
No, think about this. Watch this. You gotta think where he's playing at. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna just watch where I go. You see where I'm going with it. Watch where he's playing at. He's playing basketball at this certain place. But previously, before he played basketball here, he used to invite a lot of people from another nation to his game. And he's a, you know what I'm saying? He's a
Hmm.
blah blah blah. Now, if we pull this thing going on right now over the world, we know if we read the reports that this has been in play for a minute. This what's been going on has been played for a minute. So now he's in the middle of a political global thing. You feel what I'm saying? Because you got to think. Let's be real. Kyrie's more of a global figure than a like a United States citizen. Like
Right.
he gives off global vibes, right?
his name is his name is internationally known.
And right. So you gotta think. Now I'm here, and the people that kind of run this shit here is putting pressure on the nigga, and the nigga like I can't really listen to what you talk about because the niggas that's fucking with me saying I can't really like listen to you, so I'm gonna just do my own thing. And this when he gets Steve Nash because they have an agenda, be like, they gotta have the complexion, the protection type shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's just facts now at this point. You hire a nigga like Steve Nash, bro. And then look at this. They even thinking about getting JJ Redick. I don't give a shit what niggas talking about. At the end of the day, bro, you have to have some form of coaching before you become the NBA
Head coach.
worldwide basketball coach. You have to have some form of coaching because then you lower the product of what's a really good coach. You're just saying niggas should just come here and be basketball players and they could just do whatever they want to do. That sounds insane, bro. I ain't see. I don't know JJ Redick. Do JJ Redick got an AAU team? He coach.
I can't remember JJ Redick having any coaching experience at all.
No, how does that even work? That's insane.
He has a podcast with Bron.
And I'm a Brown fan. That looks sus.
That look hella sus.
I look wild illegal. And the NBA, I know the NBA fans watching crazy right now. Somebody about
Crazy.
to snitch. Brown gonna get in trouble.
What was
And
that?
I think Brown gonna get in trouble with something and he don't give a fuck.
Who, LeBron?
Yeah.
He is the NBA.
Yeah. I think LeBron is in his evil I don't give a fuck like mood because first of all, why nobody know where you gonna go, bro? You like
He
45 years old, bro.
he's
Tell
in
niggas
his
what you want.
mode. He's in his mode. You know when Jordan was with the Wizards and he just did whatever the fuck he wanted.
Bro,
Bron is in that mode. Bron just trying to get his son drafted, so he's playing this free agent card so his son can get picked up. and he could say he's going to that team,
But
and he just may.
I don't care what nobody say. If my son ain't gonna be able to make it on his own, then I ain't gonna put him on, bro. It is what it is. He ain't good at it. I don't want him to be embarrassed on certain things you just not good at, bro.
Hmm.
It is what it is. You go find something that you're good at and you go dominate it. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Video
If I,
games, like that's
you know
just
what
what
I'm
it
saying?
is, man.
But my thing is, I mean, at the end of the day, Bron ain't have a father to do what he was doing for his son. So I get it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. But if we talking about the NBA basketball, mm, I don't
It's a
know.
different ball game.
Yeah. I fuck with Bronny though. I fuck with
Yeah.
Bronny. I want him, I would love to see him in the NBA. This is I'm gonna end it off with. Um, you know who I would have loved to see the NBA? I
Who's
don't know
that?
if you might agree with me. He plays St. Pat's. What's his name? Is it Dexter?
Was he in a class under us? I know he
Strickland.
plays.
Strickland. Was it
Yeah,
Strickland?
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
I wanted to see him play in the NBA, bro.
He had a good run at North Carolina, I believe.
Yeah,
I
definitely
think that
did.
was just I think that was just the team where North Carolina didn't do as well. Like,
They didn't do too well. No, he played very well, but they didn't. He wasn't the reason why they were winning. So like,
right. No,
but
they like I think that was like the time where they weren't winning. That was like
yeah, they
Harrison
were losing
Barnes'
like
time.
crazy games. Yeah,
Yeah, they were
but they were
losing,
all
but
a lot of close games though. They were really, I think a lot of them were nationally televised too. They were losing hella games.
yeah, that was it. Like that was just it. Like Roy Williams had a little stint to where he just wasn't. They wasn't making the tournament, and then
Mm-hmm.
after, like I believe 2 or 3 years after Dexter left, that's when they started winning again. Like I think they changed their coach.
Yeah, they had a new guard. I forgot. I remember. I remember it was a whole new, but they had a whole new squad. They was hungry too. They wanted that shit.
Hmm.
Whereas, and I felt like when Dexter was there was like too many people that wanted to be about them. It wasn't more team basketball. It was like when I get the ball, I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean?
They
Like that's
had
how I seen it.
they had that left-handed guard, the light-skinned kid. I can't remember his
I
name.
remember him. That's
They
crazy.
played in they played in the national championship against Villanova. That guard.
Hmm. I remember him.
Hmm.
All right, man. What's your final thoughts on the finals and the NBA in general?
Final thoughts on the finals. Celtics well deserved. Probably one of the easiest runs to becoming NBA champions. It shows that talent outbeats coaching. I guess in this particular aspect of the game, Brad Stevens, hell of a GM. He went from being head coach to GM, and he did a hell of a job getting Drew Holiday in, paying him a big bag, getting Kristaps Porzingis in. Hell of a job, man. So in terms of the NBA Finals, big shout out to the Celtics. I feel like it was a walk in the park for them. And then just in terms of just league in general, I just want to give a big shout out to, if y'all not doing it yet, get on some WNBA basketball, man.
Oh
These
yeah,
girls,
that's how we talk about that next episode. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely, yeah. I know
these
that.
girls out here balling. So
They
between
balling,
now
bro.
and the next episode, catch
Ooh,
up, man.
yeah,
Catch up.
we got some shit to talk about next episode.
Yeah,
Definitely
man.
going right into that. Word.
Yes, sir.
Um, yeah, I mean, shout out to the Celtics, man. Y'all did y'all thing. That Jalen Brown interview might be coming true, bro. I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, uh, shout out to the Mavericks for doing what y'all did. Like nobody, I really no. Let's be real. We did not expect Mavericks to go into the NBA Finals, so
We did not expect the Mavericks in the finals.
they did a phenomenal job. They
Hmm.
definitely can work on things to get better. I'm hoping that they, do what they got to do to win next year, and hopefully we see them again in the playoffs. In the NBA in general, I have a lot of hope for the NBA. I think they're getting very competitive now. Um, people are people like Gilbert Arenas are like talking about how certain players are not really competent. So, I think that's starting to get to them. So they now really want to forcing the thing like, hey, coach, get me a play in here, get me something like that in here. So I'm looking at Orlando. Orlando's going to be looking good next year. So, the NBA is promising. Can't wait to see what's going to be happening this summer on the summer games. But yeah, next episode, man, we going in with the WNBA, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah, man,
saying?
I can't wait. It's a lot that I wanna be able to
Yeah,
explain
bro.
to people about the
Hell yeah.
WNBA. So let's
Hell
get it.
yeah. All right, Brody. Have a good one, man.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man.
You already. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, buddy.
Ooh, the